close your eyes. Any comfortable position where your spine is vertical. And just take a moment to take your intention inside. So just take a little scan around your body and arrive inside. So notice how your hips are feeling today, maybe how your neck is, how your shoulders are. Just have a little tour around, check in. And try and come to the place where your shoulders are above your hips and your ears are above your shoulders. So try and stack your spine nice and vertical. And have that sense of lift through the crown of the head. A nice lightness. And a sense of release through the hips and the sitting bones. So allowing everything below the waist to feel quite heavy and grounded. And then seeing if you can relax the diaphragm in the lower ribs. So the next inhale, you can fill your belly. Feel the diaphragm pushing down in your abdominal organs, feeling the belly begin to rise on the inhale and fall back on the exhale. And bringing your attention now to the gentle flow of the breath, trying to keep it balanced. So balancing the inhale and the exhale. Maybe extending them slightly. And if you know Ujjayi breath, practicing it. If you don't know Ujjayi breath, you imagine you're in a window, so on your hand, and then see if you can close your mouth and make that kind of sound. There's a little restriction at the back of the throat, and then you bring that into your slow, smooth breathing. So you might be able to hear, I don't know whether my headphones pick it up. So I thought we'd just see if we can practice our Ujjayi breath for a few moments. See if you can tune into that sound. It sounds like a wave coming in and coming out. You can still visualize it coming all the way up the front of the body on the inhale and all the way down the back body on the exhale. But just using that little sound anchors your mind to your breath. It also slows the air down, so it makes you can extend your breathing. And it warms the air up before it hits the lungs. So it's got lots of good reasons. Go. And then the other thing you'll find, if you've tuned into that now, throughout the class, if you're holding a pose and you're thinking, this is getting a bit tough, if you go to your Ujjayi breath, you'll be able to hold it a bit longer. It gives you a sense of grounding. It gives you a little bit more stamina when you're holding a difficult pose. So it's a really nice, good centering breath. Good one to know. And at the end of the next exhalation, let's come back to our normal breath. Open our eyes. We're going to get going. We're going to get moving. Going to start with some tapping. As a Monday morning, I need waking up. And then it's the full moon in Capricorn. So moon salutations, I'm afraid, girls. So you might be needing that Ujjayi breath. So let's come back. If you've got a couple of blocks or bricks, having one at each end of your mat might be useful. I'll just tilt my screen. Okay, So let's start with the belly. Little circles, clockwise for you, round the belly. Just little taps, or you can use your fingers. If you don't like the tapping or the slapping, just using the pads of your fingers like little claws. And then up into the chest, under the collarbone. So tapping just helps release the fascia. So those little connective tissue bags all around the muscles. And let's go around the diaphragm, so the lower ribs. And all the way down around the back. See if you can pad into here, slap. So the diaphragm attaches all the way around the rib cage. You can feel the ribs going all the way around, the little cage which holds your lungs. So they attach to the lower ribs. It attaches to the lower ribs, the diaphragm. So just giving a little tap, wake it up, release it a little bit. Be able to do massive Ujjayi breathing once you've done this. And let's go to the right arm. I'll mirror now. So tap. All the way up, the trapezius, the back, the shoulder, deltoid, bicep, tricep. All the way down. And then imagine you were washing, making lava. So give it a nice lava. A little massage. Oh, I love doing the top of my shoulder. Give that a little squeeze, like you're squeezing a sponge. And then let's brush all that soapy water off. Brush it off. And let's just do a little check. Let's close our eyes and take our arms out in front of us and clap. Is that arm much longer than the other one? I've got about a centimetre. I hope that worked. And let's start on the leg. So let's tap up and down. It's just by waking up the nerves, the sensory nerves on your skin and around your muscles, your brain can send the messages much more efficiently, so that when you try and do a movement, you can do the movement more efficiently and better. So reminding our brains that we have got a right leg, giving it a little wash and then a brush. Again, remember, if you can't lean down like that, just bring your leg up onto a chair or onto your bed, wherever you are. And then release. Now let's check whether that's worked. So just like lift the right arm and just give yourself a little bounce up and down on that leg that we've just done, the one we've just, yeah, and now do it on the other side and notice the quality of the movement. If it's a bit more clunky on the side that we haven't woken up. A little bit more smooth. We look like chimpanzees. It wasn't a dance called the Funky Gibbon. I think we were doing it. Okay, let's do it on the other side. So tap. I'm not going to sing. We could sing. It'd be a weird yoga class if we all started singing the Funky Gibbon. All the way up to the shoulder, around the deltoid. And then let's give it a scrub. Remember, around the wrist, you've got quite a thick fascial band, so that's quite a good one to loosen up the wrist. And then let's wash those suds away. Should we do the test? Mine worked. I've got the same length arms, so I hope yours did. And let's work down around the hips. We start with slapping. all the way up the side. Make sure you go up the inside, back and front. Maybe a little lathering up, a little bit of massage. And brush it away, brush it away, brush it away. Oh, coming up to stand. Hopefully we're nice and alive. Also, because it's Monday morning, we'll do another weird thing now. It's not weird, it's just bouncing. So all muscles and all connective tissue, because they are elastic, like anything that's elastic, they have a rebound. So if you just do bouncing like this, so just soften your knees and let the arms become really floppy and your head become really floppy, and just get a little bounce. So it's actually, you're not having to do very much effort at all, because you're just allowing your body to use the rebound. So it's just a very easy way of getting energy flowing. And it's very low energy. You're not using much energy because you're using the rebound. So this is why boxers, it's not very yogi to talk about boxing, I know, but you know, boxers in the ring are constantly doing that. They're constantly using the rebound to move around and just doing that little, that's my impression of a boxer. And then let's just give it a big shake out. And close our eyes, stand tall, find Tadasana. And notice if you feel a little bit more alive. If we've got our chi moving, our prana, or our circulation, whatever you like to call it, just notice a sense of activity going on. Let's inhale the arms all the way up. Exhale, send the heels of the hands towards the ceiling. Stand as tall as you can, lengthen the tailbone. Make sure the shoulders haven't come up by the ears or the rib cage hasn't splayed out, so softening the lower ribs. Let's take a deep inhale here. Exhale, take it over. Inhale, center. Exhale, the other way. Inhale, center. Let's open to goddess. Exhale, come all the way down. Inhale, gathering up energy to your center. Exhale, push it away. One more. Inhale, gather up. Exhale, settle down. We're going to take a deep inhale here, and then as you exhale, you're going to come over to a little side stretch. So just reaching over with the left fingertips, breathing into the side body, reaching out with the crown of the head, so don't let the crown of the head drop off the spine. And then inhale through center. Let's take it the other way. Inhale, lift, straightening the legs, turning the left toes in, turning the right toes out. We're going to step a little wider because you're coming into your warrior two. So just bend the front knee and check it's not going to overtake the ankle. And let's inhale the arms up. Exhale, sink down, warrior two. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, settle down. Inhale, lift up. And then holding your warrior two, relaxing the shoulders. I see somebody was pulling the front fingertips, pulling the back fingertips. Let's take a deep inhale, exhale, palms facing up. Inhale, lift the front arm. Exhale, start coming over. Side angle. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale. Side angle. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, holding your side angle. So you might be here, or you might be able to use your block. Bring the block on the inside of the foot and come a bit lower. Spinning the rib cage towards the sky. pushing energy down the outside edge of the back foot. And then with control, you're going to lift the back heel, pivot to face the short end of the mat. Place the hands on the knee now, excuse me, and lift the torso. We're going to inhale, lift the arms above the head, straighten the front leg, exhale, bend. So both hips are facing the front. Inhale, lift you on the back, ball of the back foot. Exhale, bend. Inhale, rising up. Warrior three now, girls. So we're going to bend the front knee and pivot. Let the weight drop down through that front leg. I'm going to hit myself against my furniture, so I'm stepping back. Bringing the torso and the leg parallel with the floor. Fingertips are reaching back. Crown of the head is reaching forward. And then we're going to take the hands into the crease of the hips. Take step back into a long lunge. Place the hands next to the feet. Step back into your downward dog. Bend the knees. It's your first downward dog. Really open the shoulders. Lengthen the spine. So a nice crouching tiger kind of downward dog. And then up onto the balls of the feet. Let's walk it out. Bending one knee, sending the other heel back. Inhale, coming up. Exhaling the other way. And then coming up onto the balls of both feet. Exhaling the heels towards the ground. We're going to inhale, float to I think will be your right leg, up and back, the one away from the camera. Exhale, step it through or walk it through. Find your long lunge. You're going to lower the back knee and uncurl the toe. And we're just going to work into that front hip. So just turning the knee and the toe to the front diagonal and the hip. Ease forward and back. Ease it out. And then find lizard or dragon, whatever you like to call it. So find your edge. You can go on the side of that foot. So if it feels right for you to open the hip and the knee out to the side and come onto the side edge of the foot, and then you might be able to bring your elbows to the ground, or you might just bend your elbows and release the head. So just taking a deep stretch in that right hip. You might come back to your Ujjayi breath here, because you might be thinking, this is quite something. If you use your Ujjayi breath, breathe deeply, send your exhalation to where you're feeling the tension. And then lift the head, place the hands down, lengthen the spine. You're going to walk that heel to the opposite groin, coming into your pigeon. So you're going to use your block under your right hip, probably. And Carolyn's going to roll over. So you can either do pigeon, or some people don't feel this is good for their knees. So if you're not going to do pigeon, you're going to come onto your back and you're going to take eye of the needle. So we're all focusing on the same area. So either eye of the needle or pigeon. So you don't want to be feeling anything in the knee. It should be all the outer hip. Make sure you're on the, if you're in pigeon, you're on the center of the knee, center of the foot of the back leg, and lengthening the spine, come down. And again, come back to your Ujjayi breath. It's really nice, very meditative breath. And it keeps you focused. It keeps you listening to your body. I'm going to quieten mine up because I don't want to distract from yours. If you're listening to me, if you can hear it. 3 more deep breaths here. And then push into your hands again. Use your arms to lift your spine, lengthen your spine, tuck the back toe, and up you come. Walk it out. Walk out your downward dog. So float your hips up. Walk out your downward dog. And then come up onto the balls of both feet. Exhale the heels towards the ground. We're going to inhale that right leg up again. Reach it away, 3-legged dog. Find that as a position in it. So we usually use it as a transition. Let's use it as a pose in itself. So really reaching out through the inner heel, pushing into the palms. Now come up onto the ball of the left foot. Bring that knee into the chest and see whether you can step it through. So if you give yourself that little inch, you might find you can come all the way through. Otherwise, just use your hand and bring it through. Now you're either going to lift the heel and come into this balance. Remember this one? Or, I know some of you don't like that, you're going to lower the back heel and wimble into a warrior 2. So either if you're coming over the top, you're coming into a warrior 2. If you're coming along the floor with me, find your core, find your balance. Everybody find your Ujjayi breath. So come up onto the ball of the front foot, so your heel's lifted, so your bottom's resting on your heel. Some people won't be able to do it, so use your warrior 2 then. And then when you're ready, we're going to walk over to the other side, creeping low, and see if you can take it on the other side. So see if you can find your balance, draw your bow, whoop. So you're lifting up your core, think of the crown being pulled up. Sometimes people find prayer, hands in prayer might be easier. Or you're in your warrior 2, you're up here like this. And then wherever you are, you're going to place the foot down, turn towards the left knee, and come into a long lunge. We're going to take an inhale here, step back, downward dog. Let the heels sink this time and really feel your downward dog. So take 3 deep breaths in full expression, really opening the shoulders, slight feeling of internal rotation at the top of the hips, heels dropping behind the toes, feet at least hip distance apart. We're going to inhale the left leg up and back. Find that 3-legged dog. Let's hold it. So there should be one line from the heel through the hip to the heel. Sorry, from the hand. It sounded like you had 2 heels, then hand through the hip to the heel. And then up onto the ball of the right foot, bring that left knee into the chest and see if you can step it through, long lunge. We're going to lower the back knee and we're going to work into that front hip now. So again, turn the hip, the knee and the toes to the top diagonal and just play around. Maybe little circles, maybe just a rock forward and back. Just visualize the femur in the socket. So that big thigh bone moving around in its ball and socket, and see where you can open it, see where you can find an edge and release and breathe. So find some stillness after a while and come back to your breath. And then lifting the crown of the head, placing the hands down, lengthening, square, leg off, tuck the back toe, float up into your downward dog. Let the heels sink. We're going to inhale, float that left leg up again. Sorry, I should just walk across, didn't I? I'm coming into pigeon the normal way now. So we're coming into pigeon, bringing the heel across, right? On the other side, we just walked it over. So bring the heel across the opposite groin, using your brick or your block under that left hip. Lengthen the spine. So again, eye of the needle if you don't like this. Roll over, take eye of the needle. Lengthen down and find your Ujjayi breath. Breathing here. So notice if you have started to grip around the hips, notice if you can let go, allow some softness, allow the weight of the body to drop. One last deep inhale, full exhale. And then pushing up, lengthening the spine, tucking the back toe, up you come, downward dog, walk it out if you feel you need to, or just enjoy downward dog. Come up onto the balls of both feet, let the heels sink towards the ground. Inhale, float that left leg up and back. Exhale, step it through, walk it through, long lunge. You're going to take your hands up onto that knee and lengthen the spine. Inhale, straighten the leg, lift the arms up. Exhale, bend the knee. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend. So the back toe, you're on the balls of the back toe, both feet are facing forward. And then on the next time when you come forward, you're going to launch yourself into your warrior three. So bending the front knee, bringing the hands back, letting the weight pour into the front leg as you grow into your warrior three. Fingertips, inner heel to the back, crown of the head forward, navel towards spine. And then let's take the hands into the creases of the hips and see if we can step back. We're going to be going into our warrior two. So a nice long step back. Yeah, I think we did it. Very nicely, Leland. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bend the front knee. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, ground out. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hold your warrior three now. Warrior two, sorry. Find your Ujjayi breath. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, palms face up. Inhale, lift the front arm. Exhale, start coming over, side angle. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, come over. Inhale, lift it up. And then taking your deepest side angle, wherever it is. One more deep inhale, full exhale. And then I want you to imagine you had that big glove on your hand and somebody was pulling that glove up, lifting you up. Woohoo, wins. In the center, turning the left toes in, turning both heels in. So we're coming into our goddess. Inhale the arms all the way up. Exhale, sink down through center. Inhale, big hands all the way up. Exhale. Inhale, lift it up. And then settling into your saddle. Sometimes this is called horse. Pushing the palms together, feeling the collarbones nice and broad, so drawing the shoulder blades together, sternum nice and lifted, tailbone lengthening down. Should we see if we can come up onto the balls of the toes, lift the heels? How's your breath? Use your Ujjayi breath. And then plant the heels down, shoot the fingertips up, take the hands to the hips, heel toe in, and then step into your Tadasana. So hip distance apart, lift the arms all the way up. Take it over, index fingers towards the sky. Inhale, center. Exhale. Inhale, center. And bring the hands down. That was the full moon in Capricorn salutation. So we're all sorted for another month. Oh, we've got loads of time, brilliant. We can do some nice balancing. So let's find our Tadasana to start our balancing. Let's do trees in the wind, because it's I'm looking at trees in the wind. That's a good enough reason. So remember, with balancing, focus, finding somewhere to look. And again, guess what? You can use your Ujjayi breath when you're balancing. It brings you steadiness. So let's take a deep inhale, exhale all the way down through the right leg. Left leg becoming nice and light. And place either on the calf or in the thigh, not against the knee. Have the sensation of being drawn up through the crown of the head. Let's bring the hands to heart center to begin with. And then we're ready, let's grow our branches. So imagine those fingertips. We're lifting, lifting, lifting. And then let's come to some wind coming into the trees, gently swaying. So you have to keep everything below the waist vertical. Just use a little rock of the torso. Inhale, come to center. Do it in your own time, with your own breath, with your own focus. Just see if you can keep the control. And then coming through, growing those branches, bringing the hands back down to prayer. And then gently lowering the leg. Wow, well done. Inhale up onto the balls of the feet. Rising up. Exhale, lower the heels with control. Inhale, lift up. Exhale down. This time we're going to stay for a few breaths, rising up. Tailbone releasing down, fingertips growing towards the sky. And then let's gently lower the heels and sink our bottoms back into chair. So imagine that invisible chair behind you. Float the shins back. I'll show you my sideways chair so you can see my weight is really in my heels. My lower back's still got its lumbar arch. You're not lengthening the tailbone. Sitting back. And then push down through the feet, lift up through the fingertips. Bring the arms down. Take a breath, find your focus. Deep inhale. Let's exhale all the way down through the left leg, grounding that left foot. Right leg becomes nice and light. Place whichever height you placed on the other side. Remember that two-way connection, the foot pushing into the leg pushing into the foot. Bringing the hands to prayer. When you're ready, growing those branches. growing those branches. And then in your own time, wait for the gust of wind. Maybe it doesn't come, or maybe it does. So just practicing a little focus yourself. And then bringing the hands to prayer if you've done. Placing the feet down, inhale, lifting up, big hands, all the way up. Exhale, let's just sink down into our chair now. So bottoms back, lowering the heels, sinking our bottoms back into our chair. Let's take a deep inhale and gently drape forward. Let your abdomen rest, so you're really folding forward. Let the head go. You might want to step your feet a little bit wider to give yourself a really solid base, and just allow your body a little bit of a ragdoll forward bend. So this is just a nice inversion for the spine. And you've got your knees bent, so you're not going to be putting any strain in your lower back. If you know your lower back's fine and you like to take a deeper forward bend, you can lengthen the spine forward and bend at the elbows and fold down. But only if you know your lower back's stable. Otherwise, just enjoy the ragdoll. And then everybody, hands into the creases of the hips. Push down through the feet, root to rise. So you push down and get the opposite rebound coming up. Stepping the feet a little bit wider. Inhale the arms up and then sink down into our squat. And anybody who likes to practice crow, now is your time. So try and get the knees gripping the upper arms, the arms pushing into the knees pushing into the arms. Strong hands, so pushing down through the balls of the fingers, coming up with your breath, so taking your time and using an exhalation to come up, imagining somebody had a thread in the center of your spine, and as you exhaled, they were pulling that thread up towards the sky. So it's a bit like your cat-cow. Emptying up, coming into your balance. And then when you come back, you can come down and lie on your tummies. And take your arms above your head, palms facing in. Coming onto your forehead. We're going to inhale the right arm and the left leg. Exhale down. Inhale, left arm, right leg. Exhale down. Keep going with your breath. Using the breath as your guide. And then coming to rest on your forehead when you've done a full set. Take your hands by your sides with your palms facing in. We're going to take a deep inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to lift the fingertips and the heels towards the back, coming up into Shalabhasana. Exhale down. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. Inhale, lift, and stay here. Breathing here. So the shoulder blades are drawing together. The inner heels are lengthening. The chin still tucked. So you're reaching through the crown of the head. Spine is long. Breath still going all the way down to the belly. Maybe using your Ujjayi breath. One last deep inhale. Exhale, gently release. Toes together, heels to the outside edge of the mat. Give your bottom a little wiggle from side to side. And then tuck the toes. Bring your feet hip distance, just tucking the toes and push out through the heels. So the kneecaps float off the floor. Just that lengthens the lower back. It pulls on the ischial tuberosities. That's the posh word for your sitting bones, where your hamstrings are attached. So as you lengthen through your heels, this lengthens and pulls on those tuberosities. It lengthens then the whole lower back. Deep breathing. Maybe send your breath to around the lumbar. So imagine you were breathing around the lumbar. Expanding, filling a ball of air on the inhale and then letting it soften and release on the exhale. And then gently lower the knees, take the hands underneath the shoulders, push up, ease it out, forward and back. And then coming to lie on your backs. As Madam Helen's in the room, we're going to be doing the Helen Wells. So start with bringing the knees into the chest, flatten the lower back on the mat, and just gently move your knees away, keeping that lower back glued, and come into reverse tabletop or that right angle where the shins are at right angles to the floor and your lower back is still glued, but you can feel your abdominals having to work. And make sure your chin's still tucked. Cross your hands over, so now on opposite knees, and then push the hands into the knees and the knees into the hands. So get that little bit of tension. You can feel your abdominals. Just doing this is quite enough work, but because Helen taught it to us, we're going to do the inhale, lengthen opposite arm and leg. Exhale, come back. Inhale, lengthen opposite arm and leg. Exhale, come back. Keep going using your own breath. And every time your hand comes into contact with your knee, push it into each other. Make sure you keep that tension. This is our bikini body exercise. Inhaling, coming out, exhaling, coming in. Another one, you can use your Ujjayi breath. See if we can do one more each side. And gently place the feet down, place your hands on your belly, and just see if you can breathe into your hands. So do a couple of deep belly breaths. And then make sure your heels are about a hand's distance away from your bottom. If you've got a nice light yoga block handy, well, I haven't mine on here, you can put it between your knees, or you can just imagine you've put that block or your book there. You're not going to let the knees splay out. Roll the right shoulder away, roll the left shoulder away. So your palms are facing up and your collarbones broad. Make sure the chin's gently tucked. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, draw the pubis bone towards you. Let the weight pour into your feet. Push up. Come into a little low bridge. So the low bridge where the knee and the hips and the shoulders are in alignment. Again, Ujjayi breath if you know it. Making sure your feet are equally balanced. So you're not rolling onto the outer edges of your feet. You're still grounding down through the balls of the big toes. You're not dropping that imaginary block. tailbone lengthening. One last deep inhale, full exhale here. And then take an inhale and lower on the exhale, drawing the navel in, laying the spine down. Extend the legs down the mat now. Take the arms above the head. Reach out the right side and the left side. And then diagonal. And then bring the nose into the knees and the knees into the nose. Inhale, the arms above the head, the legs towards the sky. And then please place the feet on the outside edges of the mat. Take the arms out to a T. So the feet on the outside edge, the knees are wider than hip distance. You're going to take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, let the knees drop to the right, turn your head to the left. Inhale through center. Exhale the other way. Inhale through center. And then let the knees stay now towards the right hand side. If you want to take a slightly deeper stretch, you can lift the right leg up, place it over the knee of the left leg. Open the hip and then push your hips forward. So you are leading with that left hip, and then take your arms above your head. Take your right hand around your left wrist and draw that left arm up. So you feel a stretch all the way up the left side. Or just stay in your normal gentle twist, your choice. One last deep inhale. And as you exhale, release the foot, float the knees back to center. Inhale here. Exhale the knees over towards the left side. Become heavy. And then if you took that deeper stretch on the other side, you can lift the foot over the knee, move the pelvis forward, take your arms above your head, and draw that right wrist up and away, and then become heavy. Breathing all the way up and down that right side. One last deep inhale. And then as you exhale, remove the foot, float the knees back to center, bring the nose into the knees and the knees into the nose, hug it in. And then laying the head down, sliding your hands up the outside of the shins, finding the soles of the feet. You can hold either on the inside or the outside, or you can hold your shins behind the knees, wherever you can reach. Happy baby, so that bringing the knees towards the armpits, lengthening the tailbone down, keeping the chin tucked so the whole of the spine is on the mat. And you can give yourself a little play here. So if you like to give yourself a little rock from side to side, or extend one knee, extend the other, or extend both. Just have a little play around, or just take it as a hip stretch, breathing here. And then extend the legs up towards the sky, extend the hands up towards the sky. Let's shake it out. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Prepare for your Shavasana. So do whatever you need to do to make sure you can be totally comfortable, totally still. So if you ever feel that your lower back's not very comfortable lying down, try putting cushions under your knees or a bolster under your knees. Just giving a little bend in the knees allows the lower back to settle. So once you're settled, resolve to remain totally still. So allow your body total stillness. So taking your attention to your feet, your right foot and your left foot. Both feet heavy and grounded. Letting go around the ankles, the knees and the hips. The whole of the right leg becomes heavy, the whole of the left leg. Both legs heavy and grounded. Notice the weight of your pelvis. Maybe take a deep breath into the belly. And as you exhale, let go of any tension you're holding there. Next breath into the lower back. As you inhale, feel it fill. And as you exhale, feel it spread and soften. Scanning up your spine. Allow it to settle in its natural curves. Allow the whole of the front body to drop into the back body. And the whole of the back body to drop into the ground. Releasing the shoulders. The whole of the right arm and the right hand becomes heavy. And the left arm and the left hand. Both arms heavy and grounded. And lastly, the weight of the head. Let the weight of the head drop back. Allow your eyes to sink back in their sockets. Your forehead to soften and smooth. Let the lower jaw gently drop away from the upper jaw. So you've let go of your muscle body completely. You can bring your attention to the energy body that is the breath. So without trying to control it at all, just rest your mind on your breath and relax completely. And gently bringing your awareness back, becoming aware of your whole body on the mat. Maybe taking a slightly deeper inhale, a fuller exhale. Feeling sensations in your fingers and your toes. When you're ready, taking your arms above your head, give yourself a nice stretch. And roll onto your side for a few breaths before coming to sit. And then keep your eyes closed for a few more moments if you can. And just notice how your body feels now. Notice how your mind is, how your energy is. And bringing your hands to heart center. Namaste. Thank you very much. Lovely to see you all.